This is the new Q1 Pro 3D printer from QiDi, and here's everything right out of the box. And for the most part, this comes out of the box pretty much ready to go. And most of the stuff you see on the table are just tools that came with the printer, along with some replacement consumable parts that I'll talk about later. Along with that is a power cord, a USB drive, and the spool holder. And this spool holder attaches to the back of the printer, just kind of sliding in place. And it's definitely nice to see that they took some feedback from their previous printers about this, because it's very difficult to get to the filament when it's mounted directly on the back. And this definitely makes it a lot easier to load up your filament directly into the printer. But at the same time, this filament arm seems a little bit flimsy. And as this is, technically it could eventually bounce off of this and fall off, but they also included a 3D printable file that just kind of slides in and keeps everything right in place. And I didn't use this at all during all of my printing, and I had no problems. And you can see this isn't going anywhere. This does come with a paper user's manual, but you're really not going to need it, seeing that this will direct you through how to set this thing up from out of the box. There's also 4 bolts you need to remove on the bottom part of the bed, which are clearly marked with these little arrows, and these are only in for shipping purposes, so once you remove them, you can move on to the rest of the setup. And again, it just walks you through how to do all of this. But for the most part, it's pretty much automated. But one thing that doesn't automatically start is your calibration. So I'm just going to start these up one by one on my own, and make sure everything is set up properly. And this is pretty much automated as well once you start it. But this will show off an interesting feature about this printer, which is a nozzle cleaning setup at the back of the machine that pretty much scrubs the nozzle clean and acts as a purge bucket as well. And that's where some of those consumable goods come in, which are basically just these little felt pads that have an adhesive on the back that you just stick on. And this came with 5 replacements. And this is definitely an interesting little setup, but it also feels overly engineered at the same time. But when it comes to the print bed on this machine, it is nice to see that it's using dual Z motors on either side to move it up and down. And that also means you'll be able to adjust either side on its own. And on top of that, this uses 2 different types of bed leveling sensors. So it should have no problem getting a perfectly leveled bed. And this whole leveling process only takes a few minutes. The other calibration you're going to want to do is input shaping. And it's a good rule of thumb to do this anytime you move your printer. And this basically moves around the print head extremely fast, which causes vibrations, and it tries to figure out how to compensate for all that. And it also sounds kind of cool when it's doing it. And with that all done, I started up a test print of a benchy that came pre-sliced on the USB drive. And the actual printing time of this was about 17 minutes. But if you want to factor in the warm-up time, the cleaning of the nozzle, and the bed probing, it was over 22 minutes. Overall not terrible, and this benchy came out looking pretty good. And looking back, it's only been an hour since I opened the box for this machine, to the point that I have a successful print. And that's including me doing all the recording for this video. That being said, I did print another benchy using the same G-code that did not come out as good. And it's mostly because this is silk filament, and it's just not set up for it. So if you are having problems, make sure you're using the right settings. And they do highly suggest opening this printer up when printing lower temperature materials like PLA, TPU, and PETG. And here's one of those warnings on the front of the printer. Because this printer is fully enclosed, it will get way too hot inside and it will start to jam things up. But it still does a great job with PLA, as you can see here. And this is just another quick test print that was on the USB drive. I just wanted to make sure everything was working properly before I did a much longer print. And this one took a bit over 4 hours to do. And it was another pre-sliced file that came with this. But I did think it looked like an interesting print, so here it is. And you can see this printed with no supports, and it came out looking really nice. And everything on here looks pretty sharp, but it does have one defect right here on the slide, and this might be due to this moving around a little bit when it's printing, because this slide was almost printing in midair. But after seeing how well this did, I decided to slice my own file that required pretty much all supports. And this was done in about 3.5 hours. And the bed adhesion on this was really good, but it was easy enough to take off the removable build plate and just flex it a bit to get it off. And here it is with all the supports that were pretty easy to get off. Overall, it looks like it came out pretty good, but there are some artifacts in the grips of this. And with pretty much this whole thing printed on supports, you can see where the interface between the support and the model are. And they're definitely not the cleanest in the world, but they also aren't that bad, especially since these are just default settings. And it really wouldn't take that much to clean this all up, so it's comfortable in the hand. But the more important part to this is, does it fit the thing I printed it for? Since I printed this grip to fit this PSP Go, and it pretty much just fits in here and snaps in perfectly. So definitely a good sign that the printer is accurate, along with being extremely fast. But this is all just PLA that I've been printing, and this machine is capable of much, much more. Seeing that it's a fully enclosed unit with active heating inside of it because it has this small little heater in the back, which will allow you to print higher temperature materials that tend to warp if they don't have the proper heating. And so you can actually print these materials. The hot end of this printer can get up to 350 degrees Celsius. So you'll definitely be able to print some very strong materials. And if you're needing to print in carbon fiber or filled materials, this has a wear resistant nozzle as well. So I sliced another file and printed it in ASA, and it came out looking pretty much perfect, with no warping whatsoever. And this is also another part that needs to be as accurate as possible, and really only one piece of the entire puzzle. So let me print the rest of the parts, put it all together, and see if it all fits. And yeah, as you can see, everything fits together. And just about every part of this is 3D printed, even the buttons, which could definitely be a bit better on the top with the lettering, but everything fits in here really nice and nothing gets stuck. There was a bit of ghosting on the letters when it came to the trigger buttons, so that's definitely something that would need tuning if I wanted it to be perfect. But overall, completely acceptable to me. I also made some pretty thin parts in ASA that are going to go inside of a car. And like before, these came out pretty good, and these will be able to deal with the temperatures of being in a car for a long period of time. And here's a quick look of most of it put together. And obviously it all worked out fine, but I did have a little bit of warping on one of the pieces. But I think it's due to how thin this was and not having a large enough brim on it. And it's so slight that it's still completely usable. And with just about everything I threw at this, it was able to finish and print. And with pretty much no problems other than the ones I pointed out in this video, that are all pretty much minimal. And it's definitely nice to have a printer that you can pretty much print any material you need. And like most printers nowadays, it's running on Clipper firmware, which allows you to modify and tune things to your liking, along with connect to this over the internet, using either your computer or a phone. And this even has a built-in camera so you can monitor things. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to use any of the online features because my internet in my shop is no longer working. But obviously you can use this without internet with no problem. And this is definitely a new printer that I'm going to be suggesting people that ask me what they should get, mostly because it just works and it works with a ton of different materials. And I only really have two small complaints about it, one of them being that the PTFE tube rubs on the top of the machine and leaves marks, which over time will probably rub a hole through the tube. And the other thing is the front door is kind of hard to open, there's no good place to really grab it. And obviously these are pretty small problems. But if you're looking to get your hands on one of these, they are having an earlier bird special, and as of recording this, you can get one for about $470, which honestly is extremely cheap for everything you're getting inside of this printer. And this will be going on for another 14 days as of recording this, and as of posting it, about 13 days. And I'll make sure to have links to everything down in the description to make it as easy as possible for you to find things. And thanks QiDi for sending this out to me so I could check it out and make this video. And so far the printers I've gotten from QiDi have actually worked really nice. And there's been one in the background of this video pretty much the whole time that I do use pretty often. And if you want to check out the video I made on this one, you can do so on the screen now. And I think that's pretty much it for this video. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment and I'll try to get back to you as soon as I can. Other than that, thanks for watching and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.